Hey guys, it's Bruce. Be cool over here in Seattle. Yeah, look at that. Look what we got on the bench here. This is up next. Yeah, this is a 4th generation Madison. You know, Bruce over here loves those 1st gen D858s. Yeah, those other ones are pretty good too. They stepped up the plate on the 4th generation with a new look. Got rid of that flip clock, put in a digital clock. And the motherboard, well, it's been enhanced, I would say. Here it is, right here, in fact. Now, if you look at it, yeah, it's kind of closer to a Cobra 2000 because it's got the 2nd IF. So that's the big difference. Cobra 2000s, Cobra 148, they had a 2nd IF. And you know, some people think that's really cool. But that's really only for AM. Sideband detection is just single conversion. That's true on the 142, 148, 2000s, Washingtons. Yeah, they really all have the same basic sideband performance, right? And the truth is, dual conversion really isn't an improvement. It's just a second stage to add more noise. Why they did it, it made the signal more selective, so it'll kind of reduce bleed over from your neighbor. Yeah, it's not really going to help for those channel 6 guys, right? But yeah, back in the day there were so many CB users. Yeah, the bleed over was kind of an issue, so that's what they did for AM. Alright, so what do you guys think of these 4th generation Madisons? This one's got some problems. I don't hear any audio. Yeah, I got my test probe up to test point 1. I see a signal there, so that's encouraging. So I'm thinking this guy's going to work somehow, one way or the other. You know, I don't see many of these, and I kind of stay away from them because I don't know what it is about it. Maybe it's past user just going, I got to get a little more out of them. But these 4th generations always seem to be blown up. Maybe by a linear. That's my guess. And people are using like big ass linears near them and just taking the front ends out, because I've had 2 or 3 of these where the receive is just gone. Yeah. Man, it could be just parts too. I don't know. Their design is a little bit different. Alright, so what are we going to do? That clock. You know, Be Cool Radio. I'm not a big clock liker, but you know, this one's digital at least. It looks cool. Well, the radio looks nice. But here's what I know from experience. That window looks like it's nice and big, and I can just rip out that clock, stick it in there, right? Let's take a look at that. Well, the back of it looks familiar. I've seen that clock module before. Yeah. So, this is the story though. You can kind of see the black outline there. You see the black outline? Yeah, I'll get one of those counters and I'll show you. Yeah, that's about a half a digit too small for these 6-digit counters. So what a bummer. I can't just slap this in as is. That would just be sweet. Nice and simple. So my fix for that is, you see all these wires hooked up to this guy? Yeah, this is called a daughterboard. I call that a daughterboard. Where actually these LEDs are now in control of this module, and they're smaller, so they'll fit in there, no problem. Hey, that's what you got to do if that's what you want to do. So what do you think, guys? Would that be sweet to see a 4th generation Madison with a counter? Now think about it. Why does everybody like the Cobra 2000? Because it performs better like the picture says? No. Come on, right? It's a Cobra 148 in a box. Has the same performance as a Washington or 142 on the sideband. Yeah, it's beauty. It is beautiful. But it's got that frequency counter, and everybody says, oh, look at all those numbers. I can tune it in and know when I'm off tune. So that's why we like the Cobra 2000s, because yeah, you get some funny channels in there and you can track where you're going. Madison, same chassis, same thing, but they didn't put a counter in. Nah, cheap ass clock, I say. Who needs to keep time? I'm trying to escape time myself. So let me know, guys. Should I put the extra work and put this little miniature daughterboard free counter in there? Now let's get back to the issue here. I see a signal there. I don't have any audio. Does have extra channels, and I'm looking in there. Let's see if I can get my flashlight there for you guys. Well, here it is. Yeah, there's a crystal switch in this guy, in the headphone jack. That's a new one for me, but I see there's only 2 crystals. Yeah, you see that? It's missing one. Kind of odd. So that tells me 2 of these positions should work. Now check this out. Let's see here. Get some volume. That's the center position there. That's 2. That should be the high channels there, right? Back to the normal channels. Let's go to the low channels. Hey. What do you know? We got some low channels there. Now let's check out this scope. Let's see what happens here. Because obviously this is locked. It's got a locked condition. And it satisfies the PLL. And it's going to let the receiver receive and the transmitter transmit. In this other position, not as much of a signal, and you can tell it's just not, it should be just nice and spiked like that last one. Let's go to the high position, because we saw 2 crystals in there. Alright, well, what to do? Let's I was looking at this PLL, and yeah, it was looking a little deep on the can. So let's just go in there and try this. Okay, so what I'm doing here is this is going to tune the PLL can, and I'll try to get one of these other bands to come in, because it could just be out of tune. If it is, then I'll try to get the lock on both bands and then adjust the amplitude over here with these guys and make sure the waveform's tall. And over here you actually have to make sure you adjust this one too with an oscope. Alright, so let's see what happens here. I'm going to put this on the high band. Let's look over at this guy. Oh, did you see that? Look at that. And then it goes off scale. That's what it should look like. Okay. Let's change the amplitude here. Alright, so does that mean I got 2 of the bands now? Let's check that out. No. So I gotta find a happy medium in there where both of them work, right? Yeah, that's a tough order there. So this guy's been monkeyed with. I see in here. Check this out. You see that tuning cap down here, the red disc? Yeah, that's where the crystal was pulled. But there's also supposed to be a diode and a cap in there. And on the bottom side, what they did is they put a choke on there and added the diode down on the bottom. And check this out. They got the wire still sticking out of here. So yeah, no wonder it's having problems. But let's see if we can get another band back. See, right now. There it goes. Okay. Get the other one in there. Yeah. Now this one's a lot higher than this one because I have to tune this one now. There we go. Okay, let's go to the high band. Tune that one up. You want the maximum signal here for your mixer. Alright, so I'm going to go down to like channel, this should be about channel 45 or so. I'm going to tune it there. Alright. Okay, that's going to give me maximum signal now, so this will stay in lock for a further way and get all 120 channels in there. Cool. So, yeah, let's check out this other test point you got to use an oscilloscope for. It's test point. Yeah, these radios are just a little bit different here. Come on, I can do it. Alright, what you're going to see on here, it's a much lower frequency, so we're going to change the oscilloscope. And I can tell from experience that this signal should be a lot larger. So what we're going to do is come in here and adjust this guy next to the crystal. Because this is the PLL lock. This is the amplitude for the PLL chip. And over here is your 11 megahertz tripler. So what it's going to do is going to triple that signal through this coil here. So you want this to be as high as possible. Alright, let's see what we can do here. Come on, you can do it. Gotta put it in the right hole, right? Alright, there we go. You know what? That's all this would do. So, it could just be the amplitude on that other signal was really high. But, yeah, this one was pretty much there already. Okay, so, I think this guy's got hope. Yeah, we got some hope for this guy's gonna work. Let's see what we got here. Lower that signal, let's see where we're at. Okay. Now, you know, you've seen these videos from me. These guys are spec'd at 0.25 microvolts. So, it's pretty loose. You know, there's 0.3, there's 0.2, 0.25 is right there. And this one's doing it. I got 0.2. Yeah, 0.1, that's a tough one, right? But I might get some extra, a little more juice out of this. Alright, well hey, I'm going to call that a as found condition of this radio. It's going to need some work, but it's not that bad a shape. Let me know what you think. Give me some feedback. I always appreciate it, guys. You know, summer's coming. I won't be doing many of these custom radios in the summertime, right? Just too much work. So I'll be pumping out some Cobra 2000s and some stuff like that, but yeah, nothing fun, right? So this could be the last one, or maybe that Tram D300 too. That's not far behind this one. A couple winners, I say. All right, 73s, guys. Bruce in Seattle. Always trying to stay cool.